Joining us on the phone right now is Topher Grace. Topher, good morning, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys.
Thanks for being on the show. Big movie for you coming out this weekend, Take Me Home Tonight, and a lot of cool stuff to talk about. At first, I'm sure people have probably seen the trailers, but if they haven't, give people kind of a little rundown about what the film's all about.
Well, we wanted to make like the Lost John Hughes movie. You know, those great movies that I loved from the 80s, like 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. We felt like they don't make movies like that anymore, and so we wanted to make one.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool when you can see the hole in the market there and say, hey, you know what? Let's go back to the old school and do it right.
We thought there'd been a lot of movies about the 80s where they have made fun of the 80s, and it's a very easy time to make fun of, but we want to do one where we took it very seriously, like we took a time machine back there and we made it in the 80s.
That's dedication there. And in the movie, you play Matt Franklin, and you're a recent college graduate in the movie, and you got your... Is it hard to play opposite Anna Faris when she's your sister and not like a love interest? That seems like it might get a little awkward.
I mean, yes, Anna is very cool and very funny, but it's also... She's such a great person. You kind of wish she was family. I mean, she's like... It really doesn't get any cooler than her. She's so talented, and I felt like it was egotistical to be playing her twin, like that I thought she was my equal or something.
Yeah,
because she's not. She's way better, way cooler.
That's very humble of you. And this is
that's just a fact.
The facts are the facts. You're right about that. This is I read this yesterday that you announced to Chris Medina from American Idol that some of the proceeds from the box office of this film are actually going to be donated to the care of his fiancée. Is that true?
That's right. Ryan Kavanaugh, who runs Relativity Studios, which is putting out the film, was amazing enough to, I don't think this has ever been done in like the history of film, but to say that he's going to contribute 1% of the box office gross to that fund, and that means if the film does well, he has to pay more. So that's just a really hard deal for him to make. But he was personally, we were both sitting in the green room at Ryan Seacrest's show, listening to Chris and his story, and we were kind of tearing up. And first of all, he just matched a gift that day that Guthrie Ranker had given, and then on top of that, he decided to do this thing, which is it's just unprecedented.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, a set amount for somebody with a lot of money is no big deal, but to give an undetermined amount, 1% of who knows how much money that is, I mean, that's...
this guy's he's a business guy. He's a really smart guy, and it was a really emotional decision, but it was really kind, great decision that he made.
Definitely. I think I was going to ask that, and you kind of explained it with the Ryan Seacrest thing, but I was going to ask how you guys knew about Chris Medina's story, and I just pictured you as a huge American Idol fan that watched every week and saw his story.
By the way, I am a huge American Idol fan, and I had seen Chris and heard his whole backstory, but then to meet him in the studio, and what's great about Chris is, and I said this to him, is that he's doing this, to do it alone, what he did, is amazing.
Yeah.
But then to do it publicly and have so many people all over the nation see him set such an amazing example, we were both so moved by it. I mean, we're a bunch of like not that emotional guys. I know both Ryan Kavanaugh and Ryan Seacrest, and to watch everyone get that moved was it was really a special day.
Totally. Yeah, we're talking to Topher Grace right now, and I agree because I'm not an emotional guy at all. I don't remember the last time I cried, and I started teering up when I was watching that episode.
You have a problem. Like you got to work on that. It's too much.
Yeah, that's the word in the business.
People are talking about it out here.
If it gets to Topher Grace, you know that it's a real problem.
Yeah, they just say, is it your girlfriend or your wife?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend, right. She said that you won't open up. It's like you just got a lock on there, and you gotta, for her sake, for your sake, you gotta learn to just kind of go there,
That's true. That's true.
So let's go there now. What's really going on?
Let's get emotional. I'm having a child later this summer. That's a little stressful. I am, yeah.
Oh my God. What if you really started crying right now? That's crazy.
I just broke down. Topher Grace just made me open up.
Congratulations, man. That's crazy.
Thank you very much.
Is that your first?
It is my first, yes.
Oh, congrats.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Do we know the sex yet?
We do. It's going to be a little girl.
Oh, man. Now I'm getting emotional. Man, you did it. Wow, I was kidding around, but you really did it.
I did it. I took you there. Well, after Take Me Home Tonight, which comes out this weekend and obviously looks like a really fun movie, what do you have going on in the future? You've got, everything going on. It seems
I
like.
worked very hard last year, so I got a couple projects coming out, which is there's a novel called Too Big to Fail that Curtis Hanson directed, which is really great. And then I did a kind of a CIA thriller with Richard Gere, where we play partners kind of hunting down this Russian killer, which is a really fun movie to make.
Excellent. When you've done as much stuff as you have, I mean, in as many different types of movies, I mean, comedies, superhero movies, I mean, you've kind of done a lot of different stuff. What's left? Is there that one thing that you're waiting for that you're like, I can't wait till I get to do this?
Yep. It's called porn.
You're waiting for that day.
I'm ready. If anyone's out there who's listening, who's ready to produce something, I'm ready to star in it.
Perfect. Well, people are texting in like crazy. Ask Topher if he'll marry me. Topher's so sexy. So I think there's somebody out there that there's a market for the Topher Grace porn movie.
Well, it would certainly be one of those weird niche porns, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a little, like kind of like Screech from Saved by the Bell when he came out with his porn movie.
Right.
Just like that. We've had Laura Prepon.
I mean, literally exactly like that.
It would be just you starring as Screech. We've had Laura Prepon on the show a few times, and she comes to Montana all the time. And I'm going to try to tell you now that you should make a goal to get out here at some point.
Not only did I come out to Montana all the time when I was younger because my grandfather lived in Oklahoma but would spend summers in Montana, I also came out there to visit Dennis Quaid on his ranch, who I did a movie with a couple years ago.
Very cool. Well, as long as you've been here, because I love
I love Montana.
It's so awesome when we hear that. Like, Edward Norton was the same way. He's like, I used to come to Montana all the time when I was a little kid, and then Laura comes here. Why, when you're here, do you got...
I'm not sure if it's still around. We used to go to the 63 Ranch, and then we also went to the Lazy AC Ranch.
Yeah.
And I remember, these are both dude ranches, and that's like some of the most fun I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome. I thought you were going to say, I don't know if it's still around, but we used to go to Yellowstone Park. And I was going to say,
I don't know if that place, they put that huge mall there, right?
Yeah, exactly. They bulldozed that. Well, awesome. I just wanted to make sure you've been here because I feel like I'm an ambassador for the States if you haven't. But good to know that you...
let me tell you, it is, as States go, man, living in L.A. and Hollywood, there's some fun parties and stuff, but you look out the window here and there's so much smog, and sometimes you just, when you have that daydream, you're having it about, big sky places like Montana.
That's perfect. Well, I got to give you kudos, too, here. People are texting in, and they said, this is the best interview ever aside from a Ving Rhames. And we did a crazy Ving Rhames interview.
What does that mean? What did Ving Rhames
We did a Ving Rhames interview for Piranha 3D where he kind of went crazy, and it made it onto Perez Hilton, and it made it onto Howard Stern, and he kind of melted down. And people in the audience are putting your interview this morning right up there with Ving.
This doesn't count as melting down, does it?
No, but I think I think you're so entertaining, it's equivalent to a meltdown. So,
well, thank you, I guess.
Maybe next time. Next time we'll get you to melt down on the show.
I'm going to call you when I got some really deep stuff going on. I'm ready to just really have some deep on-air therapy.
I'm waiting for it. That day at Topher Grace on the Big J Show for the meltdown in the future. But right now, talking about Take Me Home Tonight. The movie opens today, and I say go see it. And Topher, thanks so much for calling in this morning, and it was great talking to you, man.
No, thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.